So a viewer from Laverne wants to talk about transportation issues. I think there may be some exchange of views on this issue because this viewer wants to know whether there will be a constitutional amendment to use sales tax or other funds to go to roads or bridges. Let's start with you, Representative Torkelson, and we'll go this way around. So.
Well, I can tell you that the bill for the constitutional amendment is in a drawer in my office without any signatures on it at the moment. It's a strong possibility that we could see a constitutional effort on the bill. I don't know, or on the ballot this fall. I don't know yet if it's going to happen. There's a lot of talk about it around the Capitol, a lot of talk about it in my office. It would dedicate sales tax dollars generated by auto parts and repairs to transportation. We took a small bite out of that last year in the transportation bill to help fund transportation projects around the state. Our tails in the next biennium take a little bit bigger bite, but we still are nowhere near 100% of that, even in the tails. So there is a lot of support from a variety of organizations, including the Transportation Alliance, some of the labor unions. The truth is, you know, we've been underinvesting again in our infrastructure, especially roads and bridges, and everyone, whether you're a baby in an incubator or a person at the nursing home, we all depend on transportation to get the things we need to where we need them. And we do need to invest in transportation, and so we need the resources, and this has been one appropriate way of resourcing funds for transportation.
So we have the following funding streams that flow to transportation. They just flow there. Gas tax, license tax, motor vehicle sales tax, property tax, wheelage tax, sales tax, and the federal money that comes in. 7 streams of funding that flow to transportation regularly. Now that that's not enough, rather than adjust the level of one of those streams of funding, the transportation sector is going after 2 other tools that we have not traditionally used. One of those is geo-bonding, as I talked about.
General obligation
bonding for local roads and bridges. That was the one I talked about earlier. And the other is the general fund. And so if we dedicate a tax that right now is going into the general fund, that has the effect of affecting the funding for education, for hospitals, for nursing homes, everything else that's in the general fund. So it does have a consequence when we use what is now general fund for other purposes and dedicate it to transportation. So we need to walk into that discussion with eyes wide open, but since they already have 7 tools and everybody else has only those tools, geo-bonding and general fund. So I think it's a bit frustrating.
I agree with Alice, and I'll just add one thought, and that is that transit. As we have a growing elderly population, and we actually have young people who want to live in a metropolitan area where they can use transit and not have their own vehicles, maybe just rent a vehicle, a shared vehicle once in a while. And every major metropolitan area in the country, practically the world, has a developed transit system. So we have 2 light rail lines, and we have some buses, but we're constantly underfunding them. We're constantly expecting people hardly pay for roads, except they pay for roads through their tax dollars, but they're hugely expensive. And yet people pay for transit with their tax dollars, and plus they have to pay fees to also ride on transit. So, of course, I live a block from the light rail line, and I'm 2 light rail stops from the Capitol, and I love it. I think it's great. You know, I take the light rail over to Minneapolis. I take the light rail to the University of Minnesota. It's incredibly convenient, slightly slower, but I don't have to park and pay for parking. So it is, if we really want to be a competitive metropolitan area, we have to have a better transit system. Right. And in rural Minnesota, you have elderly population that also can't drive anymore, and they depend on somewhat on transit.
Well, we've opened up a very large topic here.
and you know, the good news in your transportation bill, I think we actually did increase funding for Greater Minnesota Transit because there is a desire all over the state.
Yes, and we've seen a developing system of transit available in Greater Minnesota. This is a very large topic. I'm going to certainly disagree with you on light rail because I think it's horribly expensive. Well over $100 million a mile just to build it, and that does
roads. Roads are also very expensive.
$100 million a mile?
We build a lot of roads. We don't build so many light rail lines, but we build a lot of freeways, a lot of roads.
But the cost per mile is prohibitive in my mind. And then the operating costs are gigantic besides. Now, we've shifted some of that onto Hennepin County, and if Hennepin County chooses to use their dollars to fund light rail, that's certainly their privilege, but they have a lot of roads to take care of, too. There's a lot of other challenges, and Alice, you mentioned the various streams of funding that are available for transportation, and they are, but they aren't meeting the need. And the gas tax, frankly, if you listen to the experts, the gas tax is not a dependable source of revenue into the future. Cars are getting more efficient every day, and we're seeing more and more electric vehicles. And if you start exploring the realm of autonomous vehicles, this transit and transportation system could change dramatically. If you're going to go from point A to point B in the Twin Cities, and the light rail happens to be kind of somewhere in between, if you have to take one form of transportation to get to the station, take the light rail to your station where you get off, and another form of transportation to get to your final destination, it's not very convenient. Whereas if you can call up an autonomous vehicle or call up Uber and go from point A to point B in one trip, people like that, and they're doing it now.
In the committee the other day, we did have testimony that it's going to be 25 years before there's a significant, some people think this is right around the corner, but that in fact it would be 25 years before that reality ever hit. And then you have to think about, they were suggesting now all seniors who don't drive anymore, they can go in an autonomous vehicle. The entire disability community can go in an autonomous vehicle. Think about the congestion on roadways. In cities, you have to move masses of people in some corridors. In cities, the only sustainable way is to move masses of people in some corridors. Now, the interesting thing is something is different in Minnesota. We've got a little ideological divide that is not happening in other Midwestern states, including those Republican mayors and governors. They are still, most of our economic competitors are now moving more quickly than we are in a public mass transit system. And tomorrow we're meeting with a group of business people, and we're going to try to help them understand this challenge we have and that we need their help, because they know the only way you draw the big companies like Amazon is right up at the top to talk about transportation alternatives. So there's something different happening in this state. I don't quite know what it is, but
Well, one of the concepts that has been kicked around on this program over the course of the last several years by both Republican and Democratic legislators has been not light rail, because as you correctly identify, there's some conflict on that, but rather dedicated busways, express busways, whatever you may want to call them, as a possibility for mass transit dollars. And I'm just wondering if there's any support, you see anything developing there in using those kinds of concepts.
Well, I think all the tools should be there. We should put them all to the same test. One, there was a national peer review at one point of our transit system. And one of the things they said, we're generally well managed, but we sometimes rush more quickly to bus rapid transit without putting it to the same test as we might have done one of the other modes. So if we're smart, we keep all the tools in the toolbox and figure out which is the right tool for the purpose.
There's actually a lot of potential for bus rapid transit. There's a new bus line running up and down Snelling Avenue that's been very successful. It's a modified design from your traditional bus with better stops and more rapid transportation.
I took it to the fair.
And it's a great mode of transportation. The big advantage, there are two big advantages to the bus rapid transit lines. One, they're much less expensive than thinking about light rail, and you're not locked into one route. You can more easily put the buses where they're needed by adjusting the routes. We have a number of lines planned in the metro area, and we've funded some of them that are in process. Gold Line heading south out of Minneapolis is one of them, and I hope it moves forward. We have a mixture of bus services, too. We have suburban transit providers that are doing some innovative things by putting in commuter buses that are a little bit higher tech so that the riders can access Wi-Fi and do their work on their computers on the way to work. I think there's a lot of potential for good, well-run bus routes to service our needs.
The downside of that flexibility is, one of the things we always measure is what's the economic development along a transit line. And if any business thinks it can move to the next street next year, they aren't going to invest there. But if they know it's rail and that's going to be there the next 100 years, they'll make an investment along that corridor because they know that investment will pay off for the long term. So that's the connection between mode and driving economic
I don't think
development.
the streetcars lasted 100 years.
Well, do you know that the cars from our streetcar line are still in use some places in this country?
In Mexico.
They're in this country too, some
They're
in
not
Boston.
here.
Well, we'll leave that issue to be worked out in the weeks ahead.